Audience, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. We pause in these moments, our Heavenly Father, to ask strength, guidance, help, and vision for us, the graduates of 1988. May we find in our education, both past and future, a broader vision of the needs of the human race and a deeper compassion to fill those needs. Help us to stand for what is right, and as we stand, move us to be anxious that the rights of others shall be recognized, as they are that our own shall be established. Encourage us as we live and learn through a God-given sensitive conscience to be as eager to forgive as we are to seek forgiveness. Bless this school and this nation. May the touch and influence of our class be one of healing the wounds of heart and mind of our times wherever we scatter in this world. Give us the courage and a dream of the future of what might be, and the fortitude to lend our strength to that purpose. Grant these blessings for Christ's sake. Amen. You may be seated.
As sponsor of the senior class, I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening. And at this time, to move along with our program, I would like to introduce to everyone the gentleman who is in charge of this building and the principal at East Central High School, Mr. Jim Helms.
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure in behalf of East Central High School and the seniors of 1988 to welcome you here tonight. To you seniors, the members of the class of 1988, this is your evening. We are here to honor you. As we proceed with tonight's ceremony, I would now like to make some introductions. First, I would like to introduce the members of the Sunman-Dearborn Community School Board of Education. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing until all board members have been introduced. Please hold your applause until all have been introduced. Mr. George Ammerman, board member. Mr. Leroy Fox, president. Mr. Russell Fox, vice president. Mr. Donald Gellert, board member. Mr. Raymond Harmeyer, board member. Mr. Jerry Tucker, secretary. And Mr. Harold Zimmerman, board member. Ladies and gentlemen, the Board of Education. Thank you, gentlemen. Other people seated at the podium this evening include, and if you people would all stand and please hold your applause till all are standing, Mr. John Armbruster, Superintendent, Mr. Irvin Fox, Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Jerry McKinney, Business Manager, Mr. Clifford Giltner, Assistant Principal, Mrs. Margaret Stewart, Pupil Personnel, Mr. Kenny Wilson, Senior Class Sponsor Chairman. At this time, I would like to collectively recognize a very fine and important group of people. At this time, I would like the members of the East Central faculty, and they're seated back in the corner, and we may also have some visitors from the Summit and North Dearborn Elementary Schools and the middle schools seated with them. Would all of the faculty members who are here tonight back in that corner please stand? And one other special group of people I would like to direct your attention to, seated to the left of the podium, the parents of tonight's graduates, right over here. I certainly extend appreciation to the ushers, arch holders, commencement band, Mr. Green, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Brannigan, Mr. Planup, and so many people that it takes to put a program like this together. Again, I sincerely welcome each and every one of you here to our school to witness an important ceremony in the lives of our seniors, the class of 1988. At this time, Mr. Giltner will announce our honor graduates.
Each year, we recognize those students who have attained honor graduate status. Honor graduates have earned this category through academic excellence throughout their 4 years in high school. Those graduates who complete the entire 4-year course of studies with a 3.8 or higher grade average are designated honor graduates. The class of 1988 has 8 members who have attained this excellent academic achievement. They are wearing a gold card. At this time, we would like to recognize these 8 honor graduates individually. When your name is called, please stand to be recognized and then be seated. With a 3.80, Christine Algar. With a 3.82, Brenda Kunkel. With a 3.88, Annette Weber. With a 3.91, Jenny Hartman. With a 3.91, Chad Dieselberg. With a 3.93, Jim Ziegler. With a 3.95, Leon Krause. And with a perfect 4.0, Diane Huber. At this time, let's have all the 8 honor graduates stand up again and give them a big round of applause. You may be seated.
The state of Indiana has a new program this year to permit a high school which meets the necessary curriculum and program standards to issue an Indiana Academic Honors Diploma. We are pleased to announce that East Central's curriculum and program standards exceed the state requirements necessary to be eligible to grant an Academic Honors Diploma. In order to earn this diploma, a student must have an accumulative grade point average of a B or better. A student must have earned 47 or more credits, of which 8 must be in college prep English, 6 must be in math, algebra, and above, 6 must be in science, biology, and above, 6 credits of social studies, 6 credits of foreign language, 2 credits of fine arts, 1 credit of health, and 1 credit of phys ed. We have 18 students who are receiving an academic honors diploma this evening. Will the following students who have earned an honors diploma stand as I call your name to be recognized? Will you please hold your applause until they are all standing? Chris Allgaier, Joe Beal, Lisa Bittner, Jill Blair, Lisa Brinson, Chad Dieselberg, Heather Fox, Linda Fox, Tricia Fryer, Jenny Hartman, Diane Huber, Trish Kist, Brenda Kunkel, Charlie Kurtz, Tina Richter, Lisa Rioli, Missy Sizemore, and Rhonda Wilhelm. Let's give them a hand of applause.
It is my pleasure to introduce the senior class president to you this evening, Diane Huber. Besides being ranked #1 in her class here at East Central, Diane was selected as one of the 10 finalists in a group of 147 outstanding seniors in the Century 3 Leader Scholar Program. Diane has participated in the National Honor Society, the East Central Academic Team, French Club, Math Club, Banner Corps, varsity basketball and tennis, and the list goes on and on. But at this time, let me just simply introduce to you an exceptional student, athlete, and a fine young lady, Diane Huber.
Mr. Armbruster, distinguished members of the Board of Education, Mr. Helms, fellow classmates, friends, and family. Tonight is the night for which we have waited, the night of which we have dreamed, the night to which we have counted down. Tonight marks the end of our journey together as the class of 1988. When leaving here this evening, we will never again all be together. Each of us has chosen our next path to follow, leading us in different directions. As we each begin to pursue our lifelong dreams and ambitions, we must keep in mind that success is not to be awaited, it is to be achieved. Success is not a destination, it is a journey through which we will experience trials and tribulations, as well as fame and fortune. As we move forward in time, our thoughts and interests are always in the future, because the future lies in our hands. It is there that we will spend the rest of our lives. While in high school, I've been fortunate to be associated with a variety of people who have each taught me some very important lessons for both now and the future. I'd like to share some of these with you tonight, and I hope that you will value them as much as I do. The first lesson I want to pass on is the importance of understanding. I had a teacher this year that stressed the vitality of understanding, not just accepting things which you are told. It may be good to know at what temperature water freezes, but it is better to understand why water freezes at this temperature. Once the concept is understood, it can be applied to other similar situations. This is true for a lot more important things than the freezing point of water. The second lesson I'd like to share is something that my parents have taught me. That is, if you decide to do something, always give it your all and do it to the best of your ability. That may apply to something big, such as going to college, or it could be something as small as entering a local contest. However, if you choose to take on something and you commit to it fully, you will never have to look back and say, I wish I would have tried harder, or if only I would have practiced a little bit more. Finally, I'd like to pass on to you 2 concepts I have learned from participating in athletics. I have been a member of the basketball team, and this year more than any other, my coach has taught me the importance of making the most of today. Before playing in our final game of the season, we were reminded it was crucial to play our hardest tonight, because if we lost, there would be no game tomorrow. The more I thought about that statement, the more I realized that it applied to a lot more than a basketball game. Because none of us have a guarantee that there will be a tomorrow, we should always make the most of the day we have been given. But perhaps the most important thing she taught me was that no matter what you do, there are always greater things to be achieved. So to help in achieving these things, it is important to set goals for yourself. It must be borne in mind that the tragedy of life doesn't lie in not reaching your goal. The tragedy lies in having no goal to reach. It isn't a calamity to die with dreams unfulfilled, but it is a calamity not to dream. It is not a disgrace not to reach the stars, but it is a disgrace to have no stars to reach for. Not failure, but low aim is sin. This is a lesson which goes a lot further than a basketball court. In closing, I'd like to leave you with a story which is appropriate for tonight. There was a little boy and a little girl who were anxiously waiting for their father to come home so that they could play with him. When he finally returned, he was very tired from his day's work and settled down to read the evening paper. However, not wanting to disappoint his children, he tore a map of the world from the paper into many little pieces and gave it to the children to work as a puzzle. The boy and girl were so excited that their dad was playing with them that they took the pieces and ran to their room to put it together. But after only a few minutes, they were ready to give up, for they were very young and hadn't had geography in school. While trying to arrange the pieces, some of them were accidentally flipped over. One of them was accidentally flipped over, and on it was a smile. Quickly, the children turned all of the pieces over and placed them together to reveal a picture of a little boy and a little girl holding hands. They quickly scotch-taped the picture together, flipped it back over to the map, and ran to show their father. He knew that the boy and girl would have difficulty with the puzzle and was surprised to see them finish so soon. When he inquired how they had solved the puzzle so fast, the little boy answered, "On the other side of the map was a picture of a boy and a girl, and we knew if we put the boy and girl together right, the world would turn out right." Much like that little boy and girl in the paper, we have been shaped, formed, and pieced together by our parents, family, teachers, and friends. And now, our time has come to go out and take our place in the world, trying to make it a better place. For the past 18 years, these people have believed in us, and now's the time that we must believe in ourselves. Within our reach lies every path we ever dream of taking. Within our power lies every step we ever dream of making. Within our range lies every joy we ever dream of seeing. And within ourselves lies everything we ever dream of being. Thank you.
Members of the class of 1988, please stand. Mr. Armbruster, Superintendent of Schools, members of the board, faculty, parents, and witnesses, I officially present to you the class of 1988. By the power invested in me as a secondary school principal by the Indiana State Department of Public Instruction, I hereby certify to the Superintendent, Board of Education, and witnesses present that each member of the class before you now has met all graduation requirements as prescribed by the Indiana State Department of Public Instruction and this corporation. The seniors are now eligible to receive their diplomas. Seniors, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, as the seniors receive their diplomas, we emphasize that the commencement program is a serious ceremony. We therefore, in behalf of the class and each individual, request everyone's cooperation by not displaying undue clapping, comments, and so forth for individual students as they receive their diplomas, but rather we will all give them a well-deserved applause when all diplomas have been presented.
Row 1, please rise. Christine Algar. Charlene Amberger. Darren Andrews. William Ainge. Robert Ashley. Rachel Bailiff. Karen Baker. Kimberly Banks. Matthew Berry. Robert Batta. Joe Beal. Rachel Belter. Eric Bennell. Lisa Bittner. Jill Blair. Debbie Blanton. Ann Booker. Lisa Bohr. Susan Borda. Judy Bourne. Gina Bott. Jim Bowling. Joy Brandt. Renee Brickler. Lisa Brenson. Row 1 may be seated. Row 2, please rise. Judy Brooks. Dale Buckhave. Brenda Biolak. Joseph Biolak. Jason Burnside. Brett Caldwell. Sharon Cleary. Tanya Clemens. Tammy Combs. Cindy Cormican. Ron Coral. Melinda Corson. Steve Kramer. Anthony Crosby. Tara Crow. Scott Zerniak. Shad Dieselberg. Alan Dahl. Tracy Drew. Parmalee Drockelman. Tom Dudley. Melanie Dunbar. Chris Eckstein. Jeff Elmlinger. Chris Emery. John Ertle. Row 2 may be seated. Row 3, please rise. Whitney Ertle. Sheena Fields. Will Fleeman. Chris Fox. Heather Fox. Josh Fox. Linda Fox. Mark Fox. Mike Frederick. Tricia Fryer. Sharon Fuentes. Russell Fernstein. Teresa Gangloff. Mark George. Jeff Ginn. Maria Gottman. Stacy Grubbs. Kathy Gadara. Brian Harper. Jennifer Hartman. Robert Hartman. Jacqueline Hayes. Bernard Hempfling. Karen Hicks. Paul Hillman. Stephen Hoffmar. Row 3 may be seated. Row 4, please rise. Susan Holmeister. Sam Holland. Martin Hogue. Christy Hoppins. Douglas Hornback. Darren Hornberger. Diane Huber. Ken Hughes. Tracy Hinkey. Stacy James. Jill James. Charlene Jansen. Guy Johnson. Gina Johnson. David Johnson. Stephen Johnson. Angie Jones. Tina Jones. Kevin Keith. Jennifer Kelly. Daniel King. Elizabeth Kinker. Michelle Kenman. Rob Kennett. Tricia Kist. Jennifer Koth. Row 4 may be seated. Row 5, please rise. Leon Kraus. Melissa Kraus. Michelle Krempelman. Maria Keeble, Brenda Kunkel, Charles Kurtz, Ann Laker, Marnie Land, Steve Lewis, Mike Little, Brian Loneman, Phil Lospage, Stephen Ludwig, Regina Lynham, Donna Martin, Christy Martz, Shelley Matlin, Marianne Maxwell, Susan Maxwell, Troy McClamrock, Jerry McClure, Lawrence McCool, Todd McKenzie, Robert Miller, Row 5 may be seated. Row 6, please rise. Edward Merce, Amy Messerschmidt, Crystal Metcalf, Timothy Mouse, Brian Miller, Dominic Mitchell, Annie Moorhead, Lori Mormon, Robert Murdoch, Tracy Neal, John Newhouse, Angela Nickel, Michael Neese, Shannon Norman, Darren Arndorf, Edward Osmond, Mark Paris, Kelly Patterson, Fabrice Percherie, Amy Petrie, Lee Pettit, Jody Phillips, Michelle Pitstick, William Potter. Timothy Powell. Sarah Pullen. Row 6 may be seated. Row 7, please rise. Maria Puska. Jill Ramey. Beverly Rass. Anna Rutherford. Mark Reed. Amy Reeves. John Rink. Craig Replogo. Don Richards. Brian Richardson. Tim Richter. Tina Richter. Lisa Reilly. Andrea Robbins. Dana Rohr. Daniel Rosemar. William Rosemar. Stephen Rothweiler. Annette Rothbush. John Roush. Jeff Ruhlman. Amy Sackett. Rhonda Sarwine. Herb Schaffner. Julie Schaefer. Judy Shebler. Row 7 may be seated. Row 8, please rise. Jennifer Smeltzer. Teresa Smeltzer. Donna Schumann. Larry Schumann. Scott Schutte. Bradley Seacrest. Carrie Seitz. Charlene Saxon Rutherford. Angela Simone Thomas. Melissa Sizemore. Amanda Slater. Jeffrey Smith. Rilda Smith. Lynetta Sprinkles. Jeff Statt. Kathleen Stacy. Gregory Stenger. Lynn Stanger. Donald Stonefield. Donald Strimple. Lori Strode. Stephanie Swangdo. Chris Takosh. Tracy Taylor. Danielle Trable. Row 8 may be seated. Row 9, please rise. David Trailer. Tracy Vanderpool. Jesse Van Osdal. Lisa Vogt. David Wagner. Brian Waller. Vicky Walter. Jerome Warner. Annette Weber. Nicole Wegman. David Wellesofer. James Wells. David Wessler. Connie White. Susan White. Robert White. Matthew Weiser. Rhonda Wilhelm. Robert Wilhelm. James Williams. Daniel Wilwine. Matt Wortman. Shannon Woolenweber. James Ziegler. Julie Zimmer. Susan Meister. Row 9 may be seated.
Now with the class of 1988, please rise and join me in the turning of our tassel.
In behalf of everyone here, I want to personally congratulate each one of you graduates. And it is my pleasure at this time, ladies and gentlemen, to first of all present the graduates of 1988 to their relatives and friends. And it is also my pleasure to now present the graduates of 1988 to their parents. Thank you very much. Graduates, you may be seated, and at this time we will have the official ceremony, banner ceremony, to retire the flag of the class of 1988.
Memories of joy and love, untouched by drift to memory.
But with time on our side,
One day we'll be together.
until then, we must say goodbye.
Until then, we must say goodbye.
Until then,
we must say goodbye.
As has been a tradition here at East Central for a number of years now, with this banner ceremony, it marks the end of the class of 1988 and their time here at East Central. As senior sponsor and teacher, I would like to extend my congratulations to all the graduates. I speak on behalf, I'm sure, of myself and the rest of the faculty here. It's been a pleasure. There are many, many, many good people here this evening. I wish the best for all of you, and I think I've expressed myself well enough for you to know that any time in the future that any of you need help that we may be able to give you, I certainly expect you to come back and see us. So, good luck in the future. May God bless you, and only the best find you, okay? Mr. Helms, at this time, I would like to present you the banner of the class of 1988 to have it placed among the other classes that have come before this group. Thank you.
As we can proceed to conclude our program this evening, I would like to offer the following information, observations, and comments. Our information of statistical research and follow-up studies and surveys for this class reveals this information I think you'll be interested in. Approximately 62% of these graduates here tonight will enroll for further schooling next year, including four-year colleges, two-year colleges, and technical programs. Approximately 15% of tonight's graduates plan to enter the military. The remaining 23% plan to enter the full-time job market. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good class. This is a good group of young people. The class has been an excellent representative of our fine school, and members of this class have pursued and excelled in every aspect of our wide range of academic curriculum and extracurricular activities. 20 of tonight's graduates have attained a lifetime membership in the National Honor Society by accumulating a four-year grade average of 3.5 or higher, and they are wearing the blue and white hoods tonight. 8 of our graduates achieved honor graduate status as a result of accumulating a 3.8 or higher grade average for all 4 years. They were introduced to you earlier, and the honor graduates are wearing the gold cords. A new category of graduate in this year's program, which was explained, is the Indiana Honors Diploma, and we're very proud of you, 18 people who earned an Indiana Honors Diploma. I'm also very proud of the fact that East Central has and exceeds the necessary curriculum and programs for us to be able to offer this Indiana Honors Diploma and enable these students to pursue it. While many high schools are trying to increase their curriculum and programs just to be able to offer it, we're proud that we were able to put it in its first year immediately. Members of this class have also won many awards and honors. At our recent academic awards program on May the 11th, approximately 475 awards were presented individually by department heads to various high school students. Of the 475 awards, 185 of those awards went to members of this class, seated right out here. including college scholarships, Hoosier Scholar certificates, medals, plaques, and locally supported college scholarships. In addition to the many academic awards and honors, the class also has many members who have excelled and received numerous extracurricular awards. Yes, the class of 1988 has represented East Central very well in every aspect of the school, academically, in your classwork, your student government, in clubs, organizations, athletics, band, labs, vocational training, as an excellent overall good example for other classes to follow. I might add that several of the graduates seated before us tonight were members of our academic team, which won our conference interscholastic competition. Graduates, when you were in the 8th grade, I became principal of East Central. I remember coming in here to address the student body. And of the 1,400 students when we opened the school that year, and I remember seeing you seated way up in the top at that time. And in those 5 years of time which have gone by, you have grown into young adults. And haven't those 5 years gone by quickly? We have enjoyed many good times and a lot of successes together and during those 5 years. And as principal, I have certainly enjoyed working with you and appreciate your contribution to this school. I feel very strongly that the new era of success that we've all started together here 5 years ago has enthusiastically continued throughout your 5 years, and we will continue to build on your example to make things even greater in the future at East Central. The class of 1988 has been a big part of East Central's success. Graduates, I will miss you. As I have told you before, I am proud to be the principal of this school, and I am very proud of you. We've had a great 5 years together, as I said. We have had a tremendous school year this year, of which a big part is your positive contribution, and as you leave here tonight, you can hold your head high and be proud of your achievements. Just as I am proud of you, so are your parents. I guarantee you that it seems like probably only yesterday that your parents are sitting up there thinking right now that they were bouncing you on their knee. I can further guarantee you that your parents have many fond and vivid memories of you growing up. They well remember each little phase of your life. Actually, they remember a lot more about you than you could ever realize, and much more than you remember about yourself. Things like when you first walked, when you first crawled, when you first talked, your first day of school, the first time you got on a bus, when you went into high school, when you went to your first prom, the first time you drove, or better yet, the very first time you took the car all by yourself. I'll guarantee you they remember that. And how about your first kiss? I bet you didn't even tell Mom about it, did you? Yes, your parents remember very well with you, and tonight you embark totally into the adult world. Graduates, if you don't do anything else tonight, do one thing. Sometime tonight you walk up to your parents and you say, "Thanks, Mom and Dad." You do that. And just as your parents are full of pride and yet saddened by your departure, right now, I am too. I too personally feel very close to each of you, and whether you realize it or not, I share your parents' feelings sincerely. I feel like another parent to you, and I do care about you. I care about your future, and I'll guarantee you, a little piece of my heart leaves here tonight with each one of you when you leave here tonight. Graduate, your motto says, "Success is not to be awaited, it is to be achieved." Graduates of 1988, think about your motto. It is good advice. Don't wait on success. Your parents would tell you, go out and get it. Be prepared to face and adjust to life's work, needs, and cares, the happiness, the sadness, the laughs, the cries, the joys, and the tears. And as you leave here tonight, pledge to use your knowledge wisely, work hard, care about others, be a good citizen, set your goals high, and always do your part to make your school, your community, and your country a better place for everyone. And now I would ask that you graduates and every person in this gymnasium at this time consider this moment. Graduates, you can never live this moment again, but we can capture the memory forever. And I would ask everyone in here at this time for everyone to pause with me to savor this moment for just a second for these young people. The sound, the silence, the visual, and the fragrance. And now, graduates, the hardest thing to do in life many times is to say goodbye. But the time has come, and it is time to go. To the graduates of 1988, goodbye. I love you. Take care.
Will everyone please stand for the benediction and remain standing for the recessional? As we conclude this program tonight, we close this chapter of our lives and enter a new chapter as adults. With God's blessing, may we have the wisdom to search out new productive paths, the courage to meet life's challenges, and the desire to reach our full potential. Amen.